This four-cylinder engine has plenty enough horsepower.
Patrick's Garage.
And it's simpler than six-cylinder engine. There is less moving parts. There is less things to go wrong. I like the four cylinders. I don't need a big six. You can play around with the engine. But if you're really insane, you can throw a supercharger kit. They make them for these things. You can do as little or as much as you want.
This is a Volvo B20 A engine. One of the best engines they ever made, really. Combination of longevity and reasonable amount of power.
Comfortable seats, man. I can sit here all day, not even moving, having fun. Got the strip speedometer in the up. So you get your information really fast. You don't take your eyes off the road much. Paint little faded. And we need top quality alkyd enamel. Please do remember to subscribe. Turn on notifications to find out about upcoming videos. So, of course, you're going to want to know how this thing drives. A lot of people like classic cars. And if they've never driven one of these, my advice is just go road test one to see how they ride.
Sometimes the average old car driver is usually a lot more cautious on the road compared to the other drivers. Most likely he repairs his car himself. It's a lot of fun to drive around. The steering is real tight on the highway, so it's more enjoyable to drive.
So it's better to buy them now, while they are available. If you see old rusty car on sale, or someone offers to buy it for you, just say, "No, I'm not buying this car." But if you have it, just take care of it. It can last a really long time. Originally, our high voltage ignition system with the red wires. To warn you, it's all high voltage. Don't be fiddling around with that stuff unless you know what you're doing.
Can you guess what under this carpet? Two powerful speakers. Ventilation ducts under the window. And now, as you can notice, the lower part of seat from early 240 series. And carpet also from 240 series early model. It's no wonder the lower part of seats wears out more faster than upper. When we getting in and getting out, we rub against the seat.
There is no way that the new cars ever going to be able to compete with the olden days cars, because 50 years ago we had completely different culture. They don't leak, it's totally sealed. Even the rocker panels don't have any rust on them.
If you doubt what I'm saying, I don't blame you a bit. I want you to never blindly believe what I say or what anybody else says, including car mechanics, especially car mechanics. I want you to think your own mind and do your own research and your tests. If you have any questions, you can write comments down below. You can ask someone in an online group of old cars. A random person may be interested in helping you, may respond on your problem, on your question you're asking, but they are under no obligation to do so. They are not your mechanics. They are a person that simply wants to communicate, and you haven't hired them to repair your car. So will be better to learn how to do it yourself and reading books. We can look under the car with this fancy stick. Very useful toy if we want to look under. Length adjustable, of course. And please don't use your daily cell phone. I use my old cell phone. Use only old cell phone because enough one dirt drop of oil to destroy that cell phone. Let's look. Gearbox pillow. Very old and worn from the oil. Oil destroys rubber pillow. Maybe will be better to clean it off and then coat so it won't rot in the future. But today we just little peek under. A piece of steel little rusty here. Just superficial rust on the copper breaker pipes. Yes, I secure it with rope, breaker cable, maybe temporarily. Maybe I'm going to have to repair breaker cable in the near future. But now it works normally. It's an old car, you're always going to get superficial rust. Would be better to paint central shaft. Central bearing, not wiggling, not noisy. You can see exhaust pipe. It's starting to rust. Maybe you remember how I replaced rubber bands for the exhaust system, and you see what now. After 2 years of using, by the way. This was new 2 years ago. Breaker pipes, breaker cables, bushings, normal condition, tail pipe, gas tank was restored. You see, maybe you remember my old videos about gas tank restoration. This annoying process may be just for me. This was done in the workshop. You see a lot of rust inside. So welder cleaned it. Not me. This was done by welder. But this muffler I restored myself. You see epoxyline at the edges, if you can see more closely. Not leaks. Used approximately 2 years, maybe. Now it's tightened normally. Middle muffler rusty a little. Will be better to coat them so they don't rust. But we won't coat them. Because the stupid wax that we put on our stuff won't stick to it. And I want to say, not bad condition for 50 years old. And nowadays, they just coating these things cheaper. Welder coated gas tank outside, but here original wax. Exhaust pipe goes to the central muffler. On the frame, superficial rust. Here frame and body welded together. You can buy enough old Volvos. They were all well made. But always remember, now they're older. And you still want to get them checked out. So check it out before you buy it anyway, unless you're buying it dirt cheap for $500 or something. We can filming it and then thinking what we need to do to repair. Central muffler with holes, burn holes. Don't freak out. Breaker pipes was installed 2 years ago. This you see. even little shining. For copper breaker pipes, only plastic holders. Never use steel holders for copper pipes. Otherwise, if we use steel holders, with steel holders, breaker pipes will rust. So I use plastic clips from General Motors. Heavy need considering detrimental effects of different metals. Copper not be touched with steel. Under the engine, little seepage from oil pump, and here was coolant from the valve. So all normal, just frame with superficial rust.